Hey Canucks fans, Bruce Boudreau appeared on Sportsnet 650 and seemed to clap back a little bit at the things that Jim Rutherford said last week. I'm Canuck Clay. This is my Canucks take on One Take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, May the 18th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Make sure you join me at 10 p.m. tonight for my weekly Wednesday night live stream. And at the very end of my live stream, I will announce my long-awaited next Zoom guest. Yes, it's a good one. I'm going to do it live next Wednesday. So I've already lined it all up. We're good to go. So tonight, at the end of tonight's live stream, I will announce next Wednesday's live stream guest. So I hope you join me tonight at 10 p.m. I want to talk today about Bruce Boudreau. We know that he re-signed, or he exercised his option to return to the Canucks for another year for the 2022-2023 season. We know he did so well in coaching the team to its final two-thirds of the season. 57 games, going 17 games over 500. At that pace, would have easily made the playoffs over a full 82-game season. We know all the good things. Pettersson finding his game under Boudreau. Of course, Hughes having a really good year. JT Miller, amazing year. Thatcher Demko, on and on and on. But they basically just ran out of time. They didn't, I hate to use that term when it comes to the Canucks, but they're still 5 points short of the Nashville Predators and Dallas Stars for the last playoff spot. Nashville and Dallas aren't in the playoffs anymore, by the way, so I think that could have been the Canucks. Anyways, one thing though, while we were waiting for Boudreau to make his final decision, Jim Rutherford, you might remember, last week on the Tuesday, it was actually a week and a day ago now, and then Boudreau accepted on the Friday. Last Tuesday, Rutherford made comments like, when talking about the team, there's too much sun there. Oh, that's okay. He was making comments, that's better, making comments to the media, a couple things that Boudreau actually responded to a little bit, maybe clap back, as I said in the openings, too strong of a word, but he certainly addressed them. And the two things that Rutherford talked about were that actually three things, that they relied on their goalie too much, Thatcher Demko, that they didn't play with enough structure, and that they were having trouble trying to get out of their own defensive end. They're spending too much time in their defensive zone, and their zone exits weren't that clean. Bruce Boudreau, so when Rutherford said that, a lot of people applauded Rutherford for his honesty and saying, finally, we have a guy here that is going to tell it as it is, tell it as he sees it. Others were saying, well, especially Boudreau didn't know that was coming. Is that really fair to say in the media? Isn't that something that's better said behind closed doors? So obviously it didn't affect Boudreau's decision, as 3 days later it was announced that he was coming back to Vancouver. But Boudreau did speak to Sat and Dan of Sportsnet 650 Canucks Central yesterday about his plans for next season, his excitement to be back, about his impressions of playoff hockey. But he did, I think with a bit of prompting, but not a lot, he did address those 2 or 3 points that were a little bit more contentious. And actually, he used the word a contentious point, but he didn't make it sound like he was fighting with Rutherford at all. I think he used the term point of contention. I know he used the word contention, yet at the same time he didn't make a big deal of it. He was very quick to say that him and Rutherford have known each other for many, many years, decades. So I guess Boudreau didn't flat out say that he was hurt or that Rutherford said anything out of turn, but he did address the couple points. So I want to talk about what Boudreau said in response, and then I want to get your thoughts on it. Is this typical two big personalities in the media, or is this something that you think could have been dealt with otherwise? But I'll get to that in a second. So the first thing, when it came to goaltending, Boudreau said, yes, we have an awesome goaltender, one of the best in the league, but name me a team that doesn't have name me a good team, a great team that doesn't have a great goaltender. Boudreau's point was, it wasn't fair for Rutherford to say that they relied on their goalie too much, because in Boudreau's eyes, every good team relies on their goalie. Oh, now I'm too dark here. Every good team relies on their goalie to a certain extent. Well, now it's too... Sorry, guys. I should have fixed all the lighting before. He said every team relies on a really great goalie to a certain extent. You look at every team that's in the playoffs right now. This is my commentary, not Boudreau's, but I'd say all 8 teams have a really good or great goalie. Maybe Mike Smith being the only exception. Kemper's, you could say, is a great goalie. Vasilevsky's a great goalie. Bobrovsky's a great goalie. Shesterkin, definitely a great goalie. So there are many. Markstrom's a great goalie. So you do have to have a really a great goalie to be successful. So Boudreau's, that was his counter, is it's not fair to say that we only succeeded because we have a great goalie and our goalie had to do too much. Boudreau's point was all great teams have a really great goalie that's asked to do a lot. Then I think he took issue with this fact of the Canucks don't play with enough structure. I'm going to combine these 2 points. The Canucks don't play with enough structure, and they had trouble exiting the defensive zone. Boudreau said, he basically said, we must be doing something right because we had one of the top 5 defenses in the league since he took over. So I'm not sure what metric he was using, whether it was Corsi or shot attempts or high danger scoring chances or expected goals against. Whatever metric Boudreau was using, he called the Canucks a top 5 defensive team since he got there. It's fine. I'm not going to argue about that right now. But I think whether it's top 5 or not, I think he was making the point that the Canucks' defensive structure and defensive game was a lot better after Boudreau took over from Green. And that is not arguable. That's for sure. And I think he did take exception to the fact that, because anytime a president or GM says that the team doesn't play with a lot of structure, obviously that's a bit of a shot or a bit of a dig at the coach, because the coach is the one who implements structure and plays and formations and philosophy and systems. That's the word I was looking for, systems. So if you hear that your team doesn't play with enough structure, they're basically taking a dig at your systems. So I'm glad Boudreau kind of went back at them on that as too, saying, again, he goes, we must be doing something right because we're a top 5 defense in the league. So I'm not trying to cause drama. I don't think there's any beef, but I do think it was quite, I was glad that Boudreau actually addressed it in the media. Granted, it wasn't as widespread as, say, the Vancouver Canucks press conference, but it was on Sportsnet 650, the rights holder, where he addressed those 2 points. So I guess my question to you Canucks fans is, are you okay with this back and forth? It wasn't a big deal. It's not like they're fighting. It's not like they have beef. But are you okay with this back and forth between Rutherford as the president of Hockey Ops and Bruce Boudreau as the coach? Or do you think this might manifest itself into something bigger, greater, more dramatic throughout the season? And do you think this kind of stuff needs to stay behind closed doors? A very simple question for you today. Very curious to get your thoughts, because I've been thinking about this quite a lot since I heard the Boudreau interview. For me, I'm all about transparency. I'm all about honesty, but I'm about loyalty as well. So if in a perfect world, I think Rutherford could have hinted at those kind of things without saying it so explicitly. And I think Boudreau would agree with me, because that's why he felt like he had to address those 2 points specifically in his interview yesterday. But I would love to hear what you think. And if you want to throw in your thoughts about how media might play a part in this as well, I'd love to hear those as well. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to know what you have to say. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link in my video descriptions. And Advanced City Experts Real Estate Group. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. And to thank you to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, and to Hall of Fame members Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Brewfield, Shannon Hollingworth, HSM Fangirl Gaming, Smooth Groove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thank you for your support, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You're listening to my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC crew, press the join button underneath this or my videos or the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Don't forget, tonight, live stream at 10 p.m. Would love to see you tonight at 10 on my YouTube channel. We'll play that new Ordo game. Also talk about my guest for next week. And if you made it this far, 9 minutes into the video, it's a Wednesday, it's the Battle of Alberta, it's playoffs, and it's Bruce. And Bruce meeting with the media and defending himself. So, for today, let's talk about Bruce, and let's give me a double B. Just double B in the, I want to make it relevant to what I'm talking about today. So give me a BB, a double B in the chat. And that's how I know that you made it this far, all the way to the end of the video. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade if you'd like to, leave a tip or super thanks if you'd like to, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to. Boudreau, Rutherford, fine, all's fine, just some back and forth, no big deal. Or are you like me a little bit and think maybe this shouldn't have got out to the public, even though it wasn't that big of a deal in the big scheme of things? Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. God bless, and go Canucks go.